Hi, I'm Erin Silva. I'm a professor of organic agriculture at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Roller crimping cereal rye for weed management and soil conservation and organic soybean production is becoming increasingly popular in the upper Midwest and in northeastern United States. While this practice can be extremely successful, it does require adaptive management. So a farmer wishing to use this tool needs to be willing to go out to the fields regularly from the time that the cereal rye is planted to the time that the soybeans are harvested. I'm here on a very windy day in southern Wisconsin at cereal rye green up, which is one of these critical times for adaptive management. This is a time where we have to decide whether we're going to go on with roller crimping like we've planned, or whether we might want to do something else to manage the rye to allow us to be successful with our weed management during organic soybean production. This stand was planted in mid-September last year at a seeding rate of 3 million seeds per acre using a no-till drill and planted on 7.5-inch rows. And you can see here today as we observe the field at early green up in the early part of April that the ground is completely covered. We have a dense stand of cereal rye with no bare soil, which is ideal for the roller crimping application. So why might our rye stands at green up not be where we want them to be? First, we may have planted later in the fall than ideally for this application of roller crimping. To achieve the tillering we need to have the ground cover and biomass to have this application be successful, we really need to be planting in September, ideally early to mid-September. Second, the seed that we planted may not have had the viability that we wanted, and we may not have gotten the stand or the plant population of rye to allow us to get the ground cover and density in the spring. There also may have been winter conditions, such as poor snow cover, ice sheeting, or standing water that may have affected our stands, particularly in certain low areas of the field. Or we may have had pest damage or bird damage that may have damaged our stands and had lower plant populations coming into the spring. So what would we do if we have lower biomass or a less than desirable stand? There's a couple options with respect to adaptive management that we might want to pursue. First, when that rye is still low and the seed-end ratio is still low, we could till that under as a green manure. And whereas this might seem frustrating, it does still allow for weed management benefits even in tilled phases of soybeans. So even with that cover crop in the winter, we still might receive benefits from that rye with respect to weed management, although we can't go forward with roller crimping. There also is an opportunity to harvest that rye, particularly if you're growing livestock or an area where your neighbors might be growing livestock, as a forage. It's important when assessing your fields that you assess the entire field, because if there's a spot in the field where you do not have enough rye biomass, you're going to have flushes of weeds in that section of the field. And one other aspect of adaptive management might be adapting what you're doing on different sections of your field. So if you have a low-lying area of your field that was susceptible to winter kill, you could still potentially manage that area of the field by tilling in the rye, but go forward with roller crimping other areas of the field where you do have adequate rye biomass that will allow you to be successful with roller crimping and planting soybeans into that area. If your rye stand is a bit subpar and you decide to move forward with roller crimping and do get less than ideal weed suppression and the presence of breakthrough weeds, there are additional tools that you can use, such as weed zappers or weed toppers, high residue cultivators, or newer tools such as inter-row mowers that could help you manage those weeds in season, even in a roller crimpered system.